The awakening of a new Otsutsuki with absolute power. This is the perfect line if Akebi were resurrected through Kawaki's karma, but this is not Delta. Once again, not Delta. Amado has created a new vessel specifically dedicated to the resurrection of his daughter. Oh yeah, give the Oscar trophy to Ryu and Matsuri. That's a fitting tribute to those so-called innocent baby monsters. Instead of looking innocent and falling into the Konohamaru team scenario, it turns out that Ryu and Matsuri have been doing fake scenarios and acting innocent from the start. But in a situation that threatens Sarada and her friends, will Boruto come out of hiding? Welcome to the full spoiler of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 18. I'm not asking much of you guys, but please drop your likes and subs as a form of support for me, guys. Chapter 18 with the title Sleep on It and Matsuri as the cover. And once again, Chapter 18 is absolutely absolutely fire, and absolutely insane. So, the chapter begins with Sumire entering Amado's lab. After her, in the previous chapter, she had dared to express her feelings that had been harbored. And the first thing Sumire saw was Amado being strangled on the wall by Kawaki. And Sumire's first reaction upon seeing it was shock. But because Kawaki felt that he was currently in a superior position to the two of them, he said that he was currently the one in control of the situation. A conversation that might turn violent if Amado didn't realize his wish to remove the limiter. Kawaki even said that he honestly didn't care about the parts of his body that had been modified by Amado, because basically it was in the past and a situation that couldn't be chosen. However, for now, Kawaki was the one who would decide whether his body should be modified or not. By wanting his absolute power, Kawaki forced Amado to change his power parameters and increase his attack stats. And if Amado refused, Kawaki threatened that he would not hesitate to kill him, because by doing so it meant that Kawaki no longer needed Amado as a useless person for not helping him gain his true power. But with that threat, Sumire again tried to stop Kawaki. But because Kawaki's situation was really serious, he ignored Sumire and even gave Amado a choice. Do this, or he will die in this place. And this is Kawaki's weakness that he actually doesn't know about. He was in control of Amado. With a sleep on it, the poor guy with the CapCut logo on his face suddenly lost his consciousness and fell asleep. Poor Kawaki. And finally, Amado was released from the chokehold that made his breathing difficult. And after that, Sumire now knew that it was the same command used on Delta to make them fall asleep and lose consciousness. And at the same time, Amado asked Sumire to help him move Kawaki. But before we know where it will be moved, the scene moves to Sunagakure village. More precisely, Ryu with Sarada and the others. And yep, for the first time, Ryu was introduced to their two friends, Yodo and Araya. But at the same time, Ryu looked at Yodo and Araya's faces like there was another feeling. Even Ryu himself asked them why they were looking at him like that. But because of that slight suspicion, Sarada immediately tried to divert Ryu's mind and said that Yodo was a shy girl. Araya whispered to Yodo and reminded her to stay calm. And on the other hand, Matsuri, who was currently with Konohamaru, was seen talking to each other. But because Matsuri admitted that she felt strange, she asked Konohamaru for his opinion. And according to him, Matsuri didn't look pale or anything. So with such conditions, Konohamaru said that Matsuri was fine. Despite saying that Matsuri was fine, she still said that she became very nervous. But while talking to Konohamaru, Matsuri said that she was able to become a little calmer. The scenario is still going according to plan. And Konohamaru also said that this is a normal reaction, especially since this is the first time meeting Matsuri. But this is where Matsuri suddenly told Konohamaru that she seemed to be back to her old self before everything changed. And after Matsuri made the atmosphere warmer, she asked Konohamaru if she could call him Konohamaru-chan. Instantly, Konohamaru was reminded of the incident when they were both children. A moment that still reminded him of his past with Mogi from when they were children to adulthood. A moment that really made Konohamaru become dreamy. But at the same time, Matsuri also reprimanded him because of Konohamaru's face that looked stunned. However, Konohamaru said that it was nothing. But before we see what happens next, now the poor guy with the CapCut logo on his face has woken up, guys. You must know why I call Kawaki is poor. Anyway, after he woke up, Amado told him to stay calm. Even Amado also already understood what Kawaki's goal was, especially about the Shinju threat, because basically, Amado himself did not expect that they became a threat that did not know how to deal with them in an effective way. Amado also actually intends to comply with Kawaki's request to increase his strength, but it seems that Amado will not do it without a condition. He would do that, but there is one thing he wants to do for Amado. It's not Delta. Again, it's not Delta or about Delta. It's a clone that Amado made especially for his daughter, Akebi. And the plot twist is that Amado creates a custom vessel that will be used to resurrect his daughter. And Kawaki's task is just to put karma in this vessel, because then, according to Amado, this will make Akebi come back to life. And actually, in Kawaki's karma, there is data from his daughter. And that means by placing or transferring Kawaki's karma to the vessel, Amado's daughter will automatically come back to life. Even at this moment, Amado says that this is his last choice. And again, this is a choice that only the gods allow. Everything Amado has done up to this point is for this, returning his daughter's life. Because honestly, Amado admits that this is the biggest reason why he is still alive. And this is his true purpose in life. Using the methods of the gods, Amado pleaded with Kawaki to carry it out. And all of this was the condition he set for Kawaki before he could remove his limiter. But since Kawaki's goal from the beginning was to destroy all Otsutsuki, including some of them, he firmly emphasized that he refused. Because if Amado's daughter ended up becoming an Otsutsuki after being resurrected, at that time, as soon as she woke up, Kawaki would kill her. But with that statement, Amado said that the possibility of becoming an Otsutsuki is 1 in a million. But if it ends up being Otsutsuki, Amado is ready if Kawaki wants to kill her. But certainly as a father, Amado will not let that happen. And because their goals are conflicting, Amado and Kawaki swear at each other. Kawaki, who doesn't want to give birth to a new Otsutsuki, while Amado is eager to restore his daughter's life, even though she will eventually become an Otsutsuki too. But basically, all decisions are only in Kawaki. But one thing is for sure, Kawaki said that the priority right now is to increase his strength. Kawaki just wants to destroy Otsutsuki and Shinju without having other potential enemies appear in this world. But because Amado kept begging Kawaki, he finally got another solution. Kawaki is willing to give his karma to the vessel that will resurrect Amado's daughter. Although in the end, if it becomes Otsutsuki, Kawaki will kill her too, but surely Kawaki will do that if all these problems are over. Big problems that threaten this world, Otsutsuki and the Divine Tree humans. Despite getting other alternatives, but it looks like Amado remains stubborn if it has to be done now. Because after all, according to Amado, if Kawaki's condition can be said to be almost immortal, with his defense and regeneration at the maximum level, it is certain that Kawaki will be very difficult to kill. And once again, his current stats, he is almost immortal. In addition, if Amado increases his attack parameters, then Amado is very anxious because there is no guarantee that Kawaki will survive when fighting. Because if Kawaki dies, then all of Amado's plans, including his dream of reviving his daughter, will end. But again, Kawaki also said that he also had a goal. Whether alive or dead, it didn't really matter, because what Kawaki wanted was just to become a monster that was bigger and stronger than them, because with that, it would be very easy to kill them all. But unfortunately, before we find out what Amado is going to do, Kawaki and Amado scene ends here, and we return to where Matsuri and Konohamaru continue their conversation. This is still the same as before. Matsuri continues to say sweet things to Konohamaru, and even Matsuri says that this is the best day ever. But because Matsuri continues to call him Konohamaru-chan, he refuses to be called by that title. The reason is only one. According to Konohamaru, the call is only for one person. But it seems that with that remark, Matsuri looks jealous. Even Matsuri also alludes to Moegi if the call is only for her. But certainly, again, we are made curious. For the first time, I was a little annoyed because it made us so curious. The scene cut and moved back to where Ryu was with Sarada and the others. And since Ryu's previous goal of following Sarada and the team was to find Boruto's whereabouts, Ryu had the initiative to lure Boruto out by using Togadama. Some of you might not know what a Togadama is. It's a Japanese term that means thorn soul bulb. And instead of using the Togadama to lure Boruto out, it made Yodo act carelessly. And surprisingly, Yodo tried to grab the Togadama, but unfortunately Ryu managed to stop her. And while Yodo was immobilized by the Ryujutsu, he himself laughed and assumed that this was just as he thought and just as he expected. And finally, if from the beginning Sarada and the others tried to act and be nice to Ryu, it turned out that Ryu himself was the one who only pretended to be innocent and followed their words and followed him. And not only that, Ryu also thinks that this betrayal will leave a trauma and should be punished. And because of Ryu's iron sand, now Sarada and the others can't move because of Yodo's own doing. Even Mitsuki said that the iron sand is about controlling their movements and making them like dolls. But who would have thought, guys? With Araya's ability, he managed to attack the iron sand and make Sarada move. But at the same time, Sarada has not realized that Ryu himself destroyed the iron sand or not. And of course, it's Arya. He has another technique that he created to counter Ryu's iron sand ability. But again, it's a pity that the chapter ends here. Clarity on Amado's decision to Kawaki and the end of Team 7 will have to wait for next month. So how? What do you think of this chapter, guys? I'm waiting for your opinion. Is it real that Konohamaru will be devoured by Matsuri if the call proves to be only for Mogi, or that Boruto will come out of hiding when Ryu is about to slaughter Sarada and the others? I'm waiting for your opinion, guys. And that's the complete spoiler for Chapter 18, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Like and subs. I'm Nim. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye, Dadabayo.